when you show up in this, I'm a bad bitch, I'm confident, I know that I can help you do XYZ, when you show up in that energy, people notice. They feel your conviction. They feel your certainty. You're listening to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. I'm your host, Jill Perrick, a business and mindset coach who specializes in imposter syndrome. If you feel like you're not as smart, capable, or worthy as you actually are, and that someone is going to find you out, then you've come to the right place. I went from being a struggling government worker, working my coaching business on the side, but feeling unworthy and burnt out, to making multiple six figures helping women overcome imposter syndrome so they too can sign clients, make bank, and have the business or career of their dreams. I am nothing special. I have a stuttering disability, ADHD, and I struggle with anxiety and depression. So if I can learn how to feel good enough and overcome my inner imposter, then so can you. Let's dig in. Hello, my loves. We are in the middle of a freaking heat wave right now, but that's okay because I have my pool. And we opened our pool back in the beginning of June, and I have literally swam in it like the majority of the days. It was like a little bit colder in the beginning of June, and I was like, no, we're opening this pool. I don't care. So if you're over on Instagram stories at Your Coach Jill, I'm sure you've seen my reels. I'm sure you've seen my stories every day that it is hot out. Even if it's a little bit cloudy, I'm out there. I am out there in my pool. Owning a pool has literally been the highlight of my life. Like, I love it so, so much. And I am a Scorpio moon, so being in the water and near the water is something that I really love. And I just love it. I love it so much. It feels like I'm at a resort every single day, and I just don't have anything else that I want in life. Anyways, I need to get bigger goals, obviously. I need to start, but it's so interesting though. It's so funny because I literally used to journal in my journal, and I have to actually look for them and share these journal entries on Instagram stories, because I used to script and I used to say I am, oh, that's my washing machine. It's really loud. I am sitting in my backyard. I have a full view of my yard and my in-ground heated pool, and I'm so excited to go out there today, and I'm getting Stripe notifications that clients are joining my offers and blah, 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 and that's literally happening right now. And it is just so funny because when I was scripting that, I was still working full time. I was running the business on the side. COVID was happening. And I was like, this isn't going to happen for another 10 to 15 years. And it happened in less than 5. So all this to say, I wanted to have a real conversation with you today on the pod. And just a reminder that things can happen so quickly, but not if you are not sturdy in your identity and sturdy in your mindset. So in April, I had 2 new clients that paid in full. So 2 of the clients that I signed in April paid in full. And they really did come out of nowhere. And within 48 hours, $12,000 cash was deposited into my Stripe account. It was a one-to-one client and then a client who joined the From Imposter to Empowered program, which is now the real deal. And it was just a normal Thursday. I did my abundance meditation. I walked my dogs. I made my coffee, which I'm just realizing now I made a coffee and I haven't had any. Hopefully it's not super watery. And I was going to the aquarium that day with my family because my nephew was in town. And I opened my phone. I opened Instagram after doing all my stuffs, and I had a DM from a dream client who had been listening to this podcast. And we had a very quick conversation. She said she was in and she was going to pay in full on Saturday. I said, great, cool. And then I had another client who I had previously served in my Iconic Intensive, and she wanted one-to-one coaching. So within 48 hours, 12K cash was deposited into my bank account, and I did not have any expectation or knowledge that these people were considering joining like The Real Deal or joining one-to-one coaching. Okay. I had no expectation or thought that this was going to happen. And what you didn't see, what people don't know, is that for about 3 to 4 weeks, and the whole reason I say 3 to 4 weeks is something that I'm also going to talk about. But within 3 to 4 weeks, I hadn't had any new sales. I had recurring revenue from clients in The Real Deal, from one-to-one clients, all that good stuff, right? Like we love recurring revenue. But in terms of new sales, I hadn't seen anything in about 3 to 4 weeks. But I only noticed that when these clients joined, and it was only because I was running my numbers like I do every month, blah, 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 blah. And I realized how significant this was because I have never been someone to dwell on the things that aren't working. It truly is just information when it comes to how many weeks has it been since I have made a sale, right? Like knowing how long it's been between new clients is not going to change anything about how I move or how I show up. And this is something that I am really proud of, I guess you could say, because there is nothing external to me that is going to stop me from doing what I do. Like I am going to continue to show up and sell even when life gets busy, even when I'm depressed, even when things are going on. I have never dropped the business ever, not only because, hello, I have a responsibility to the clients that I'm serving, but there has been times where I haven't had like a full like client roster, and I definitely could have just been like, you know what, I'm feeling burnt out and I'm not going to show up. And I have instead increased the capacity that I have, worked on my nervous system, and still stayed committed to the work that I was here to do, that I was put here to do, that I was meant to fucking do. And I am fully aware that a piece of that is, it's not just you're a coach, right? I am not just a coach. I am a business owner. And we talked about this in the podcast episode, I believe it was last week or the week before, in terms of like, I identify as a business owner, not just a coach. So there are things that I know I have to do in terms of the marketing, in terms of the sales, in terms of the admin, in terms of the back end that like is unavoidable. And those are the things that I have to do because I assume the identity of a business owner. And I honestly think it is such a privilege take for people to drop their business like a hot potato if it's not performing the way that they want it to perform, or their ego is not getting stroked every 5 seconds, but yet they want to show up and sell, and they want to make 4 figures a client. They want to make 10K months. But when something happens, or when they're busy, or when things are overwhelming or chaotic, they drop it like that. And I feel really strongly about this because I know how that is going to erode trust in your audience. I have even seen coaches that have given me the ick because they will start to make a lot of money and then they stop marketing as much and they stop like showing up and selling. And then they come back and you can almost tell that they are going through an income dip, and now they're coming back and all of a sudden they're showing up and selling again. And it just feels like they're dipping in and out when they want to. And I don't fuck with that. And all of this to say, I am somebody that has very good social media boundaries, right? Like I don't stay on my phone constantly. I know how to not burn out. So when you are running your business in a sustainable way, yes, there are times where you're going to get overwhelmed. Things are going to feel chaotic. You're going to feel behind. But again, this all comes from the mindset. This all comes from the self-talk of realizing that you are the owner, you are the CEO of your business, and you get to decide how things go and how you move. And to bring it back to the conversation I was having around, like, I don't really focus on the things that aren't working. It is such a default state for people, but you have to realize that your brain and your thoughts are so biased. And we have a psychology, like there is this psychological phenomenon called confirmation bias. And the more that you pay attention to something, the more that you focus on something, we also have the reticular activating system, and that is a filter in our brain that everything that you focus on, you're just expanding and inviting more into your realm is what you focus on. And you see it everywhere. You see it. I see it all over TikTok. I see the news. I see like the shitty things that are happening here, the shitty things that are happening here. The coaching industry, you will see people that shit on other coaches, and that is just like how they sell. Like they just show up and say, yeah, like you should hire me because your last coach was crap. And it's just like, that's all that they're focusing on, right? Or you can tell when somebody has made a crappy investment and then that's like the only thing that they can focus on, right? And when you focus on the things that aren't working and when you focus on the things that aren't going well, that is all you're going to be able to see. And what you focus on expands. And here's the thing. The reason why I'm having this conversation with you today is because if you are somebody that struggles with imposter syndrome, if you are somebody that struggles with a lot of self-doubt, a lot of worthiness stuff or around a lot of stuff around your self-worth, then you are probably somebody that doesn't focus on your wins half as much or even like a quarter as much as you need to. You are probably somebody who doesn't notice the things that you're doing day in and day out, who doesn't actually look at the things you're doing and accomplishing and working on from a bird's eye view. You're not zooming out and seeing how fucking accomplished you are, how incredible you are. And you are probably a high achiever and you started a business and now you're in this fucking identity crisis being like, I'm not where I want to be. I have all these goals. Even if you have achieved things, it's still like for some reason you're telling yourself like it doesn't feel like enough because it's not the achieving that's the problem. It's the fact that you're not noticing the things that are going right, the things that are working, how you are actually doing an incredible, phenomenal job and how you are building something. But what you're forgetting is that just because somebody struggles with imposter syndrome or self-doubt or self-worth, it is just their perception of themselves. It is not the truth. You have accomplishments, you have education, certifications, you have results, you have all of the reasons why you are actually a perfect fit for your clients and why they need to fucking work with you. And you are instead believing your thoughts and believing that you need more in order to be seen as qualified and as good enough. You just need one more client testimonial screenshot. You just need one more Stripe notification that you can share on your stories and someone will see, oh, like she's the real deal, right? You think that you need more, but what you actually need is to turn around and look at your fucking self. And when I say turn around, I mean look in the mirror. Like you need to look in the fucking mirror and you need to start recognizing the things that you're doing right and the things that you are achieving and have done, and remind yourself of that every single fucking day. Because what does that do? This turns into your currency because it is energy. When you show up in this, I'm a bad bitch, I'm confident, I know that I can help you do X, Y, Z. When you show up in that energy, people notice. They feel your conviction. They feel your certainty. It is a big reason why you get paid is your energy and in the way that you communicate to your potential clients and in how you hold yourself, right? Because I'm not going to lie, people are looking to hire somebody who is sure of themselves. And that is just a fact. And that's why you're here. And that's why you know that you need the confidence. It's not just about being qualified, because if it was, you would already be fucking rolling in the dough and you'd be perfect, right? You'd be all good. But you know that it has to come from more than just having the accolades, having the accomplishments, having the knowledge. It also has to come from the confidence in all of those things, from the confidence in knowing that you can change somebody's fucking life when they come to work with you. And this is the energy that keeps you going when there is a lull between sales. Because here's another thing. People are not going to be super transparent about the fact that, like, yeah, you don't have sales fucking coming in constantly every single day of the month. Is that amazing? And does it happen in the industry? 1,000%. But for a lot of coaches and service providers, there are lulls. There is a week or two between sales, and how you get to the place where you are bringing in sales every single week, bringing in sales every day, it also depends. It depends on, are you launching? Are you running this? Are you running that? But at the end of the day, how you get to that place is by you not making it fucking mean anything when you do have lulls between sales. I have had months between sales, guys. I have had weeks between sales. I've had days between sales. And I don't make it mean anything at all, because the entrepreneurial journey is very up and down, and it is long. And when you make a week in your business or a month in your business mean something about your power and about what you're capable of or what you can achieve, right? That is the second you lose. I have had years, like I think my year when I made like $12,000 in 2019, that was at the end of the year, right? But if I had been working my ass off and made like a couple $100 here or there throughout the year, and I was like, this isn't working, blah, 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 and I had stopped, I wouldn't have made that 12,000 at the end of the year, right? And those are like a lot smaller numbers than I'm used to working with now, but it's all the same. It's all the fucking same. It is the mindset, it's the identity, it's the holding your power. And when people fucking shit on holding the energy or holding your power, it is a real thing. Of course you're doing the strategic things. Of course you're showing up and selling and doing the marketing and doing all the things. You're working with clients, you're doing all of those things at the same time. But there is a power in holding the energy. There is a power in realizing that all of your accomplishments don't fucking go away because you haven't had a sale in a couple of weeks. And the reason why I created that 12K cash from two people who, like, I had no idea were going to sign on into those containers, right? Brand new people to my world, was because I have been doing everything regardless. I have been showing up, I have been selling, I've been doing everything I needed to do. I'm not changing things, I'm not tweaking things, I'm not spinning the fuck out. I am holding my power behind the scenes, knowing that, like, I'm always going to be on the way to making my next sale, to signing my next client. And that comes from so much power and certainty and belief that strategy can just not replace. Like, of course, I do all the strategy things. Of course I do. I have very personalized, customized strategy to me and my business. I know what to do each and every day. I know how to sell. I know how to create content, all of these things, right? But like 80% of it too is how you carry yourself, how you identify, how you hold your power, how you fucking see yourself, right? These things are all so important. And these are the things that I teach inside of The Real Deal, which is my group program to help you overcome imposter syndrome, self-doubt, the things that are holding you back and self-sabotaging you so you can sign high-ticket clients and make consistent money in your business from those high-ticket clients. This is the shit that we work on. We do the subconscious work, we do the nervous system regulation work, and we do the customized strategy inside of this program because it all matters. It is all so important on your journey. If you are not strong-minded, if you do not have the emotional resilience to see things through, your business is going to crumble no matter how fucking perfect your strategy is. And of course, we have the strategy. We have the content strategy, the sales strategy, how to close sales, how to sell within your content. We do all of that, but it is also a big piece of this program for you to be of stable mind and for you to really see yourself as a big fucking deal and show up in that convicted and certain energy that you need to be in to sign high ticket clients and for them to fucking see you as a leader and as the only choice for them. So that sales page is at the link in my bio, and by bio I mean show notes. And if you have any questions at all, you can hit me up on Instagram at YourCoachJill. And I will see you next week.